and we are so happy to have all of y'all. I know y'all are probably used to seeing Emily Russell here. She's out sick today. So we don't want her here. I don't want to be getting sick. I share an office with her. So I want her to get better. My name's Savannah Howard. For those of you that I don't know, I was an intern here last summer with Emily, and luckily I got a job. Now I get paid to do what I did before. So I'm really happy about that. We have two wonderful interns with us again this semester, and they are from the University of Georgia, from the College of Public Health, and the major of health promotion. So this is Letitia, and she's going to be doing the lesson today about improving memory. So I'll go ahead and let you get started.
Good afternoon, everyone. Like she said, my name is Leticia. I'm a fourth-year student at the University of Georgia. I'll be graduating May 13, 2016 at 7 p.m. So if you're there, cheer me on. Today I'm going to be talking about improving memory for people, which is a very hot topic because it's part of our everyday life. All right. So with you guys have some crossword puzzles. You guys could do them as you guys go. It's really a word puzzle. You guys could do it as you eat. It's no rushing those. We're going to talk about why we forget things. I'm going to give you some tips and how to improve your memory. And I'll take questions at the end. All right, this is so why do we forget? Forgetting is part of like everyday life. It's part of the life cycle. You also can forget things because of lack of sleep, stress, related to other disease, and also it can be related to dementia and Alzheimer. It's important to remember that like even if you start to forget things at times, like where your keys are and things like that, don't automatically think that you have Alzheimer or dementia, because only 1 in every 5 people at the age of 65 actually get the disease. And also like just remember, it's part of growing up. It's our brain reaches its capacity at the age of 20, and as we grow older, our brain volume decreases and the blood flow through our brain also decreases as we age. So it's part of growing up. Other things that can also lead to memory loss is the type of medication you take, the type of food you eat, and just your daily activities. I'll keep this here actually. All right, so I'm gonna just go down these tips and then I'll go into more details. So some tips is to get better organized, pay attention to details, eat well, exercise your body, exercise your brain. Can you guys see the screen actually? Okay. Exercise the memory, socialize, remember to not smoke, and to get plenty of sleep. All right, so how do you improve our memory? The first thing is to get organized. Make sure that everything in your house is at eye level, that you keep things in the same place, the same time. So when you walk home, you put the keys on the counter every single time, the mail go in the same spot every single time, so that you don't tend to forget the easier things, because that's what people tend to forget first. Like, where did I place my keys today when I came in the house? And where's my mail? Where's the purse? Where's things like that? And other thing is to create to-do lists. So like put it on the fridge. As you go in through the day, like I walked the dog, check. I did this, check. Keep a calendar of your weekly schedule, and as you go through, just mark those things off. That helps you get organized so you don't forget things easily, and it doesn't freak you out. Pay attention to details. So if you're driving down the road, pay attention to the things you see in the morning. Pay attention to the things you see when you come back home. If things are like look a little different at home, you see, just be aware of your surroundings. That helps you remember things as you go. All right, eating well. I know you guys hear this a lot. Eating well is not only good for your memory, but it's also good for your body in general. So certain food groups are better for memory. So anything that's high in omega-3 fatty acids, such as fish, walnut, kiwi, flax seeds, tofu, which not everybody like. I don't like it personally. Avocado and cauliflower. Vitamin D is very important, not only for your bone health, but also for memory. The milk, soy, egg yolks, fortified cereals, fish, and liver. High antioxidants, so apples, which are my favorite foods, broccoli, spinach, green tea, and things like that, all good. And in our brains, we have vitamin D receptors. So if anytime you eat anything that has high vitamin D things in it, it it works together with your receptors in your brain. It keeps it from growing, because although our brain is not growing, the cells the cells in your brains are always renewing. So the more vitamin D you have in there, the better it is for yourself. Exercise the body. So that's another thing that's good for our health also. Remember to exercise for at least 30 minutes a day. If it's not possible, make sure you talk to your physician and see how many minutes a day you can exercise and what kind of activities you can do. Some fun ones that I think are cool are like golfing, walking, stretching, yoga, dancing, and later on I'll talk about how you can incorporate those to make those fun throughout your day. Alright, the most important thing you can do to help increase your memory is to exercise the brain, which is why earlier today I passed out these puzzles. If anyone didn't get one, I'll give it to you at the end. So basically you want to make sure that you're exercising the brain, because it's a very important organ of the body. So play a game for 30 minutes, do a crossword puzzle, play cards, chess, a computer game even. Learn a new hobby, learn a new language. Or Rosetta Stone have free languages, or I don't know how much they are, but you can take up a new language just to keep your brain from thinking all the time and functioning. Start fishing, start knitting, sewing, anything that you would like to do. Repeat things. So if you're going to a grocery store, write your grocery list down and repeat it. Repetition is very key for memory. So the more you repeat things, the more it comes from short-term memory to long-term memory, and that's what you want to happen. You want the short-term memories to turn to long-term memories, so you don't forget them eventually. And listen to music. It's free, it relaxes, it helps release stress. It also relieves pain. Studies have shown that people who have Alzheimer's, if they listen to music as some sort of therapy, helps them with decreases their depression, which is a big key to help improving your memory. Socializing. We all want to have fun, so why not do the things that we need to do in a fun way? So exercise as a group, play those card games, have bingo night, go out fishing with a group of people. Just make sure you're socializing with people so that your mental health is up to par, because you don't want to fall into consider yourself to be alone, so you don't want to be depressed, because if you feel depressed and you have anxiety issues, then your brain is like working extra and you tend to lose some memory. Do not smoke. That's like one of the big ones that people tend to scare to want to talk about. If you're currently a smoker, talk to your physician about ways that you can quit smoking, because our brain is already decreasing in size as we grow older. So as you smoke, it takes away from that brain matter and it just keeps making it smaller. So smoking speeds up the decreasing process of your brain, and also mess up with your cognitive thinking. So like things that you see, like you forget more things because you're smoking. Get plenty of sleep. The CDC recommends that we get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, which can seem like a lot, but it's really imperative that we get enough sleep, because it helps with like stress relief. And make sure that your bedroom is quiet and dark and relaxing. Take away any distractions before you go to bed. I wouldn't recommend eating such a high calorie diet like we're eating now for lunch for dinner before going to sleep, because our body is going to want to digest it. And avoid caffeine, that will keep you agitated while doing that. Yeah, it was brief and short. You guys have any questions for me about some other tips for improving your memory? Will I answer all the questions? I have a worksheet for you guys to take home with you. It just has like the 8 things to do. Another thing to remember, if like you're starting to feel like you're losing your memory more, to contact your primary physician and to get you in with a psychologist to run some tests. Don't, just because you're forgetting things more often, don't automatically think it's something serious. Don't get scared. It's just I forget things all the time. So I probably forgot I had to be here this morning, but I made it. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'll pass these out.
other great service line that we have here at Clearview that Letitia was kind of talking about in her talk is a sleep lab. So since sleep is so imperative in a lot of health issues, including improving your memory, learning how you sleep and if you have sleep apnea or if you have trouble sleeping is a really big part of having good health. So here at Clearview, we have a sleep lab. We have people who can do those studies on you to see if you get good sleep at night and see how you could improve that in ways. So if that's something that you're interested in, we're really trying to grow that service line. So I have my cards up here, my business cards, and then I also have some of Emily's since she's not here today if you have questions for her. So if you want to reach out to either one of us, we can help get you set up with somebody at the sleep lab that can help you with that.
That has to be through a referral through your doctor, doesn't it?
It does. It does. But we can set you up with the forms and do you have a primary care doctor?
I have a primary care, but I was just saying if you were going to do that.
Yes, you do. You would have to talk to them. But we have forms that you can take to them and kind of get the conversations going so that they can do that referral for you.
Yes, I can. So yes, make sure that the food that are really good is high omega-3 fatty acids, which you can't get, like you have to eat those to get those. Vitamin D, anything that's high in antioxidants. Did anybody come to the Eating Well lunch and learn with the dietitian last time? So some of those things are already things that she said, oh, it's okay, for us to eat. So just incorporating those into your diet is pretty easy to do anyways. And then I can go back some things here too.
I do 2 out of 8.
And then for your brain, try to associate things. Yes, so like the more exercise you do, it increases your heart rate. And when your heart rate increases, it pumps more oxygen to the brain, which releases hormones to help the neurons in your brain to work well.
The one at Felton Park for the senior aerobics is free.
Okay.
Oh, good.
That's
great.
good to know.
That is.
Yes, it is.
The one in Meridian is free.
Free, yeah. Coney Monroe's not as packed, but it's good.
Very good.
Yeah, just like walking. It's kind of cold now.
I do that 4 days a week when it's not freezing.
Yes, walking is good. And it helps relax us too. Just remember to take time out for yourself too. Because we kind of get busy, just relaxing and making sure we don't get too stressed out about things would definitely help.
Hello, I'm Sheriff Joe Chapman. I want to take a few minutes just to talk to you about an issue we've had lately, gun safety. Also, the probate judge says we have a record number of carry permits being issued in the county. A lot of interest in firearms these days, a lot of news stories about firearms, so I want to take a few minutes to clarify some of these issues and hopefully take some of the misconception out of it and make things clear. Also, I want to inform you of a website called georgiacarry.org. That's GACarry.org. That is a great website that explains the laws in Georgia regarding firearms, and it's really simple. Simplifies the laws. Laws can get complicated, but this is a great website to make it plain and simple to inform you of your rights and legal issues regarding firearms. Recently, we had a small child, 4 years old, climbed up onto a kitchen cabinet and obtained his father's firearm that was hidden in a kitchen cabinet. Really no wrongdoing, but a child being a child climbed up, got a chair, pushed it up to the kitchen cabinet, climbed up above the refrigerator and got into an upper cabinet and retrieved his father's firearm. Took it outside to play with it, discharged the firearm, and he shot himself in his thumb. And this could have been very much worse than what it was. We're very fortunate that this wasn't a fatality. I'm an advocate of firearms and the Second Amendment, but we have to be aware of firearms and firearm safety. Here at the Sheriff's Office, we offer firearm classes and safety and teach you the legal aspects of owning a firearm. We also open our range up to the public in the warmer months of the year, and please take advantage of this. Now, I often tell people, you know, taking a human life is a difficult thing to do. If you don't think that you can do that to protect yourself or your family, please don't even purchase a firearm. Don't even have one around. But now, if you do think that you can use a firearm to protect yourself or your family, by all means have one, but be proficient with it. Learn how it works. Know how it works. Be proficient and practice with it. Don't buy a handgun and take it home and throw it under the pillow or next to the bed and think all your problems are solved, because that's just the beginning. You have to be proficient and practice with a firearm and know it's dangerous. And you have to be cautious of where that firearm is at all times. So please be safe and be responsible when owning a firearm. And if we can be of any use here at the Walton County Sheriff's Office, please give us a call. Our firearms classes are posted on our website at waltonsheriff.com. Contact Deputy Scott Wisnett. He's our training director here at the Sheriff's Office. Please contact him at 770-267-1356. And we'll be more than happy to accommodate you any way we can. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Isaac with Reboot Computer Company, and I'm going to give you the Reboot Tech Tip today. I wanted to talk a little bit about phone systems for businesses and for home. I don't know if you guys know, but you know, the internet is huge now, and everything's going to be on the internet, you know, probably before I die, like everything. But anyway, so they're making these phone systems now. Vonage is one of the companies that you can use like at your house or your business. Comcast offers phone systems. And the type of phone system I'm actually talking about is an internet-based phone system. So what the phone guys like to call it, the guys that actually work on these things, they like to call them cloud phones. And what that means is basically your little phone system, it just plugs into the internet, and then everything, all the calls and everything is actually being done on some server somewhere. And you're just kind of on the receiving end of it. It's kind of like a little computer, you know, the phone is. But anyway, there's some great advantages to the cloud-based phone systems like Vonage. One of the things is if your internet goes out, all you have to do, like if you can get in front of a computer, or if you have a smartphone, you can pull up your little app on the smartphone for your Vonage system and get everything forwarded to your cell phone. And so your business isn't down. You know, if your internet goes out, which is a great feature, especially for businesses, so that way you're never down. Like you can always get phone calls. That's a great thing. The other thing too is the cloud systems. You know, before inside of businesses, you had to have all these boxes and everything that routed the phones and did all this craziness, and you don't actually have to do that anymore. So a guy comes out from Comcast, he installs a little modem, it hooks up to your network, and you plug all your phones in the regular old Cat 5 jacks, or you know, like the cable coming off the modem basically is a Cat 5 cable. You plug your phone into that thing, and then they do a little configuring on their end, you know, on their server and all that stuff, and you're up and rolling. It's half the price, and then, you know, stuff like that is really manageable. Like from Comcast's end, like a lot of times you don't have to have people come out and check stuff, and it costs a bunch of money. And so these cloud-based phone systems are actually becoming the way of the future. I imagine too, you know, as the speed of the internet and the amount of data that gets transferred on the internet, the infrastructure will be updated, and a lot more stuff like this is going to start happening. Like instead of doing you know, Microsoft Office on your computer where it's downloaded to your computer, you'll just access it from a website. There's a lot of companies that we manage their IT on, they're all web-based. Like all their programs and everything they use now, they just go to a website. Pharmacies are like that, all kind of places actually. And then really truly it's becoming the way of the future. So if you're not on the internet, you might want to be. It's coming whether you want it to or not. But that's it for today. I'm Isaac with Reboot, giving you the Reboot Tech Tip.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent here at Keep Walton Beautiful in the Walton County Recycling Center. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Starting to warm up a little bit, and around here we are getting ready for spring and Earth Day and some of our events that are coming up. I did want to talk about some things that we've noticed here and we've had some calls about. With all the rain we've had basically since the fall and on in through the winter now, it's collected a lot of the trash has washed down into a lot of the county roads and highways, and we've noticed a lot more trash in the ditches on the sides of the roads and things like that all over the county. We're trying to give it all the attention we can. We've gotten in a lot of calls about that. We are, like I said, giving that as much attention as possible, and I want to thank the Walton County Sheriff Department's work release program. Those guys go out weekly, almost daily, and find these areas and clean those up. So they are out working hard as they possibly can, but what they notice is probably what a lot of us notice, and that is, you know, a lot of times 2 or 3 days after a road's been cleaned, you're already seeing trash back out there on the roads again. And at that point, the responsibility is ours. And we all need to think about that. We all live here. We want it to look as nice as it can around here. That's a big part of it, is us taking it upon ourselves to not litter and to tell others not to litter. You know, we all want this to be Walton County to be a county we can be proud of. And a big part of that's how it looks to other people and how it looks to us. So when we have people passing through or even residents of Walton County like us, when we're driving around, the last thing we want to see is all of this trash everywhere. So I want us all to make it a goal to take it upon ourselves, you know, keep our trash in our cars and until we get home, and then we put it in the proper can when we get there. If it's recyclable, we put it in our recycling bin. If it's trash, we make sure it makes it to a trash can. It looks terrible out on the sides of these roads, and surely everyone can clearly see that. And another big deal is the trash blowing off the backs of trucks and things like that. We need to make sure we're securing our load. And if there's pieces of paper or bottles or cans or whatnot on the back of your trucks, we need to get those off the back of the truck, put them in the cab with you, and get those in the right bins when you get to where you're going. Again, it's all our responsibility, and it is something that's been noticed, and it probably seems a little worse this year. And from everything I can gather from some other communities and around the state, a lot of that does have to do with all the rain we've had. But I do feel like it helps bring attention to just how much littering is going on out there still. So I don't want people to forget about that. I know it's a message that's been being taught for a very long time now, but let's not let it fall on deaf ears. It's just as important today as it was when we started talking about it 25 years ago. So that is something I wanted to make sure we were talking about. Again, we're getting ready for some of our spring events, and I'll update you guys as we go forward on what some of those events are. And we're by the time you see this message, we should be through Arbor Day, and we hope everyone got out and recognized our Arbor Day and how important that is. And we will see you next time and keep you posted. Again, like I always do before I forget, if you have any questions or any concerns with recycling or any other environmental concerns, feel free to give us a call, 770-267-1421. And if you hadn't been out to see us before, come on down, let us show you around and show you what we have to offer here in Walton County. Thank you guys.
Come up here, Rick Ranger. We got a little thing that's kind of not in the program, but we've started some pretty intensive PTs are self-defense tactics. And I'm gonna let them Bowski talk about them. That's them things right there. You picked them out. You can tell everybody about that. Come over here and stand in front of the microphone, Tom. I'll hand them to you, Mr. Marshall.
All right.
He look like Chuck Norris, don't he?
Well, thank you, Chief. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I want to thank everyone, obviously, for being here today. And I want to give special thanks to certain individuals. First of all, I want to thank the Lord, one, for my job, and two, for the opportunity to be this department's lead defensive tactics instructor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, I want to thank my loving and beautiful and supportive wife. One for her, none of this would happen. My wife went through all the physical activities and drills of the defensive tactics program as the officers did. And my wife is Daphne Dembowski. Thank you. Next, I want to thank all the officers for all their hard work, their efforts, and all their participation. Thank you very much for making this year a success. Thank you.
How many people would get hurt doing that?
I think we really hurt.
Don't answer that.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt.
You got hurt, not injured.
That's right. But I also want to thank the command staff. One, for instilling the trust and faith in me to be the lead defensive tactics instructor. Thank you very much. And next, well, I want to thank. Next thing we're talking about here, next thing we're talking about is defensive tactics. People ask me, what are defensive tactics? And defensive tactics, I can sum it up in a couple things. One is what we call the warrior mindset. And what I mean by that is having the mental strength, endurance, and never mind, I'm sorry. It's just to have the mental strength and endurance, one, to never quit and to never give up, and to keep on going, and always win. Let's put it that way, win at all costs. All right, make sure you go home. Make sure whatever situation is, you win your situation. Next thing, I like to call it level of force, use of force, and how officers, when they observe things or they perceive things that are in front of them or around them, they can take the knowledge that they've learned and they can apply and they can understand and determine what level of force to use to take care of the situation. That's basically it in a nutshell. The day of defensive tactics, how the day went. In the beginning, we just did some classroom stuff, some lecture things. The officers had to take a written test. They had to pass the test. Then in the afternoon, that's when we went and started doing our physical activities. The officers learned new skills of the sport of freestyle wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo, and the final activity was, the culminating event was the achieve the clinch drill. And in that drill, the officers had to apply everything they learned throughout the day. And there was an officer, there was a suspect or offender, and there was a victim. And they had to come into the situation and they had to control the suspect, because the suspect was doing physical bodily harm to the victim. They had no choice. They had to do something. And with that being said, that was just how the day went. Now, moving right along though, we have two appreciation awards. And the first award, I'm going to just talk about the person. This guy helped me out a lot. He has over 20 years of mixed martial arts or martial art experience, either in instruction or in competition. And with that, he helped me, one, with the drills, helped me with the activities, helped give positive instructive feedback, and he helped out a lot. He officiated a lot of the drills for me. And I just want to thank, he's actually an instructor at the Contemporary Martial Arts here in Monroe and also out in Hartwell, Georgia. And I want to thank Mr. David Martin.
Thank you so much. You're not gonna flip me or nothing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
The next person I'd like to mention, this lady here, she took on more of the admin role for the course. She made sure the mats were clean. She made sure the equipment was clean. Made sure the equipment was functional. She played the victim a lot. All right?
Snacks.
What's that, bro? Yeah, and unfortunately she brought snacks. I was a little iffy on that, but the officers seemed to like it. Biggest thing though, she came with the bottles of water. And everyone here that went through the program can attest that water was needed. And she made sure that every officer had water so they were hydrated. And I'm a big believer that that helped reduce any situations that may have happened. But again, she helped also with the instruction and also giving corrective and instructional and positive feedback. And that is Miss Kimberly Martin.
Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to the 2015 inaugural Monroe Police Department Defensive Tactics Awards. The first award I'm going to speak about is the Sportsmanship Award. And this award basically covers the affective domain of learning. That's the officer that displays the best or the most positive attitude, motivation, enthusiasm, their, again, positive thinking. This particular person, even though she was going through all the drills, she'd sometimes get cramps in her calf. And she would still be smiling and having a good time and carrying on. It never stopped her. She kept working, she kept driving on through, even though she kept on cramping up a little bit, it never stopped her. And she did a great job, and I am proud to present the 2015 inaugural Defensive Tactics Sportsmanship Award to Detective Aaron Richardson. By the way, these awards were selected by Dave, Kim, and myself. All three of us came together, we put our heads together, we observed throughout the whole year, 2015, and through performances, that's how we decided who the award winners were. Next award is basically the officer displayed the most mental strength, mental toughness, mental awareness, mental intellect, and mental endurance. And this basically hit on the cognitive domain of learning, the mental aspect of it. This officer showed up, and first of all, I'm going to tell you, this officer mentally can knock these walls down. This officer is extremely mentally strong. We put the officers in situations where they'd go out of their comfort zone. And we tried to break them a little bit, get them outside that comfort zone, really make them feel, stress. This officer, it didn't happen. All throughout the day, it never happened. So when basically the officer showed up with if you can picture it, a construction hat and a metal lunchbox. This officer came to work. There was no doubt about it. And there was no breaking him, and he did a wonderful job. And I'm proud to present the 2015 Defensive Tactics Award for the best mental strength and intellect to Lieutenant Kevin Aaron. Good job.
If he done all what Bubba said, I ain't gonna make no smart comment.
That was just in defensive tactics. I don't know how it is outside of defensive tactics. I'm just telling you how it was in my class. Now the final award, which I don't believe the officer left, but
His wife can come get him.
she is. She's not there. This next award is the most most outstanding physical performance. And this part covers the psychomotor domain of learning. This is the best physical performance of all the defensive tactics courses that we ran. This officer picked things up mentally. We demonstrated it. The officer understood and went out there and naturally participated, naturally competed, and was extremely successful all throughout the day. The biggest thing that we saw was at the final culminating event. This officer, this clinch, as we'll call it, where the officer has to control the suspect. This officer performed this drill faster than anybody in the department. And for a guy that size, I couldn't believe it when it happened, because it happened to me. He's the one that came after. So, but not only did he do it the fastest, he did it extremely well. Let's put it that way. If there's anywhere near perfection, he did it that way. It was outstanding, and this was the number one, and all three of us, a unanimous vote on this, and that's Officer Corey Walton.
Corey had to go answer a call. So you can't judge everything by how big they are. It's about how quick they move. Got it? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate it. That program is integrated into our training. It's a good program. We're going to start now with years of service. Kevin Art, 5 years. Some of the council folks and Russell has been around a long time. You remember these first things, there wasn't no years of service award. So I'm so glad we got folks that are, we're being able to retain some good folks. So we're proud of that. Thank you. Amanda Lawson, 10 years. Guys, don't say like doesn't seem like 10 years since we were having a conversation in the office about police. Amanda does us a good job. Thank you, Amanda. Trudy Wall, 15 years. Trudy was there. She's seen some interesting times at Monroe. Thank you, Trudy. I appreciate it. We have two that are not here tonight. Detective Gina Holbrooks, 20 years, and Donna McAreath, 10 years. We also have a DUI award. Officer Nina Lee awarded and appreciated the most outstanding job performance in law enforcement. DUI law enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
That thing like automatic or something. Top Gun. Did you do that cowboy thing or El Presidente?
Did it all, Chief.
Henry Forrest III.
Shot a perfect scorer, too.
Well, while we're taking pictures, explain to them what the El Presidente.
I'll talk a little faster than Demowski did. We had 3 different drills that ran. They had to run through qualification, and they had to shoot over a 90% to run through that. So he shot the highest score there. He shot a 95% on the qualification. Then they went and they did a El Presidente, which is where you have 3 targets. They had to draw their weapon and fire 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 2 rounds. They had to reload, then fire 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 2 rounds, reload, and do 2 rounds, 2 rounds, and 2 rounds. And it scored on penalties. And Forrest was able to do it in under 14 seconds, which is extremely fast That's shooting 9 targets with 2 magazine changes from the holster in 14 seconds. That's extremely fast. He had 1 penalty, and that penalty still didn't put him over the 14 seconds, so it was a perfect run. And then we went and shot bullseye shot, where they get turn the target all the way back to 25 yards. They get 10 shots with a maximum possible score of 100 points. And you shot what there? 90%, wasn't it? And then you shot 90%, shot 90% there. So 9 out of 10 rounds were in the bullseye range at 25 yards. So, excellent shot. And he's a Marine.
You can tell I ain't fond of Marines. We have a lot of United States former Marines that are.
There's no former Marine chief.
Careful. We need 1 or 2 patrolmen right now. But I don't know how my Army Ranger didn't win that. I think it's got to do with the score being a former Marine or a Marine. We may have to bring up. Our next award is our Admin Employee of the Year. And this goes to a guy that, and these are picked by leadership. And, the Officer of the Year is picked by peers. But Captain Mike Matthews has been with me since I came to work at Monroe PD. He and I survived some fun times, some crazy times. We called ourselves helping with a pursuit one time when we were in the academy, and he forgot to unload his magazines, and we went to Clayton County Police Academy, and back in they had a former Marine running it, and I think he's in prison now. He didn't like for you to have live ammunition on the quarterdeck. So, and of course one day I went and I didn't have my sweatpants, and I had to do push-ups about not knowing where my pants was at. So it was an interesting time, but Mike, on behalf of the city I give you this, but also thank you for your friendship, and we having a good ride. We've done good. CID is the field investigative team falls in that group also. This young lady's been recognized tonight about her willingness to hang in there and be tough, and actually a lot of you hadn't seen her when she first come to work here. She came to work and there was about 3 people in government that knew she worked. Not even some of the officers knew that she worked here. She's done a lot of great work for us in our city. Erin Richardson. She does all them, you've seen them things on TV where all them people take pictures and they all muddied up and been running and climbing, and she does those things too. Thank you, we really appreciate you. I'm gonna let this former Marine, or current Marine, how do y'all call it? I'm gonna let him read this script about what one of our officers done, and we're going ahead and we're gonna recognize him tonight because what he done was very vital to saving a life.
On January 15, 2016, at approximately midnight 53 hours, officers were dispatched to 312A Tanglewood Drive in reference to an EMS assist where a 4-year-old child, Callie Jackson, was unconscious and not breathing, and CPR was being administered. Sergeant McCullough was the first officer to arrive and advised that the child was labored breathing. Sergeant McCullough advised that EMS needed to hurry, and when I arrived on location, Sergeant McCullough began CPR again. Sergeant McCullough carried the child to the ambulance and continued to perform CPR on the child until she was turned over to the hospital staff. Callie Jackson was later flown to Children's Health Care of Atlanta. Callie Jackson suffered from asthma, and when she arrived at Clearview Medical Center, she began to breathe on her own. Sergeant McCullough saved this young child's life with his actions and should receive a life-saving award for his heroic act. Please help me in recognizing Sergeant.
Miss Daly? Miss Daly? Ma'am? While she's coming up here, I'll read this. The City of Monroe Police Department salutes Great Oaks, the staff, and Melinda Daly, Executive Director, for their ongoing kind and generous support presented February 2016. Let's see how we're going to do this. We also got you and Big Daly, a little something there, and then Big Ken and Mama something, and y'all just, I can't never, it's hard for me not to talk to her and.
He tears up.
Yeah. Well, just the kindness you've shown not only the police department, but me and my family. I love you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jody Johnson. I'm here with the Recreation Report, and today we'd like to, we're coming here from sunny Walton County, which is great. The weather is finally starting to head towards spring. We hope that we'll have some great weather here coming up because with this, in February, we start our spring sports programs, and all of our baseball and softball teams are on the fields now. Started practicing this week as of February 15th or so, as the team started practicing out at Criswell Park. Some are out at Hammond and Hammond Park, out at West Walton Park and South Walton Park. So all of our baseball, softball teams are out there braving the cold night air, but getting some work done and getting some good recreation in. Our soccer teams and our track and field teams are also started practicing. So about 2,000 kids are out nightly doing some type of recreation activity. So that's great. Games won't start until about mid-March. I think around March 5th we have opening day set up for our baseball and softball program, and the other sports will follow around that time as well. So looking forward to a great spring and a lot of kids coming out and playing. So thanks to all the volunteers that come out and help get all these programs organized. Without you volunteers, we would not have a program. We do get the field set up for you and make sure that everything's organized, but it's the volunteers that actually spend the most time with those kids. So thanks to all the volunteers that we have here in Walton County. We have a lot of good people that come out and volunteer, and they usually do sport after sport. They usually stick with us and go through the basketball program, baseball program, some do the football program. So we really do appreciate what they do each and every year. And again, it's not about knowing the most sport. We're looking for good role models. Anybody that'll come out and spend time with the kids. We generally, somebody on the team usually knows the sport specific, knows how to organize practices. We have a lot of pamphlets and programs that we can help you out to help you learn the specific sports programs and how to have a successful practice and to teach the kids the skill. At the level, our rules are not so far advanced that it's that difficult to teach. Again, we want the kids to enjoy the sport. We always say that a good coach is not judged on how many games they win and lose, but how many of their kids want to come back and play again the next year. That's how we judge a quality coach here at the Recreation Department. So again, thanks to all those volunteers that go out and work on a daily basis with our kids. I also want to invite you to come out to the community centers. We have some good walking tracks. They're outside. The weather's fairly nice, especially on the weekends. If we have a good, nice weather weekend, get out and start that exercise program. The weather's not good, again, always come into the community centers. For you that are members, you guys know that it's a great place to walk. If you're not a member, we invite you to come in and take a tour of the facility and see what it has to offer. I think you'll be surprised at how nice, clean, and good atmosphere it is inside the Felker Community Center or the Meridian Community Center. So we invite you to do that at any chance you can. We also have our All-Star Basketball program. It's going on this weekend. which is the end of February, around the 23rd. We'll start playing our all-star basketball program, so good luck to them. We hope we'll have by the time this show airs again, I will let you know if we have any new state champions here with our 7 and 8s through 13 and 14-year-old all-star programs, girls and boys. We'll be hosting several of those here at Meridian Park next weekend on the 28th, and then the following weekend on the 5th of March, that's when the state tournaments are. So we'll host part of them here, and a few of them will be in Henry County, DeKalb County, Decatur, in that area. So good luck to all our all-star teams. And I think a few of them are playing this weekend in the city of Jefferson in a pre-warm-up tournament. So good luck to all those teams. I know that you'll represent Walton County well. So again, remember, the most important thing is that sportsmanship starts at home. So until next time, thank you very much.
Hi there, I'm Emily Russell, Director of Marketing and Business Development at Clearview Regional Medical Center. Thanks so much for joining us today. As always, we have exciting things going on here at Clearview that we offer to you all as the community to participate in, many times free of charge. And I just always love to tell you about all of our different physicians and new service lines that we have here at the hospital. Some exciting things that we have coming up. We have recently launched the new Clearview Metabolic Center. Now, when you think of a metabolic center, what do you think of? You think of metabolism. Metabolism, you might think of weight loss, you might think of diabetes. You're exactly right. All of those things are going to be housed in our new metabolic center. And to kick that off, we're actually going to have our very first free informational seminar about surgical weight loss. So if surgical weight loss is something that you've been thinking about and kind of toying back and forth with, maybe you're not quite sure what all it entails, or if you would even be a candidate, this would be an excellent opportunity for you to come and learn about the options and just learn about what we have to offer here at Clearview. If that's something that you're interested in, you can visit our website at clearviewregionalmedicalcenter.com. The seminar is going to be on Thursday, March the 24th at 6 p.m. in the evening. Feel free to call us here directly at 678-635-8133 to get registered for that. We'd love to get you signed up, get you some more information, and just kind of walk you through that process. So that's our new Clearview Metabolic Center that's located here on our campus. In addition, we have a new physician in town, Dr. Julie Allen. You might have seen her on TV or seen her around in the newspaper. We are so excited to have her as part of our physician family here. Her office is actually located at 704 Breedlove Drive, which is just across from our old hospital on Breedlove Drive. Walk-ins are welcome. We do same-day appointments. She is a family practice doctor, so she sees all ages, all the way from infants to 110. So no matter what age you might be out there, give us a call. We would love to see you. And the phone number there is 770-267-8457. So give us a call and we'll be happy to work you in same day, like I said, whenever we absolutely can. So that's Dr. Julie Allen. In addition, we have exciting things coming up in the Senior Circle News. As always, on the third Friday of each month, we offer Senior Bingo, and that's free for anybody in the community to come and partake in. We would love to have you. In addition, we have Lunch and Learns every single month. March the 16th, we'll actually be doing a Lunch and Learn on aging and taste. Have you ever noticed that as you age, perhaps your taste bud change? Perhaps what you thought was once delicious is maybe no longer delicious. So it's going to be a seminar to learn a little bit more about that, to get some information about what that actually entails. So if that's something that you're interested in attending, visit our website to sign up or give us a call at our physician referral line at 1-877-933-2762. So as always, we are excited to introduce new service lines and new physicians to our community. The Clearview Metabolic Program is now open. If surgical weight loss is something that you might be interested in, please visit our website to get more information or give us a call here at the hospital. We would love to see you at that free informational seminar coming up on March 24th. In addition, Dr. Allen, like I said, is seeing new patients, our new family practice doctor. We would love to see you over at our Breedlove Drive location. Just give us a call and we'll get you worked in today, tomorrow, whenever you need to be there. And as always, our senior activities are going on. You can check out our calendar online at clearviewregionalmedicalcenter.com. If we can do anything to help you and your family stay well as you progress into the springtime and get ready for allergies, and we're almost out of flu season. So if you have avoided the flu thus far, you're doing really, really well. So hopefully we haven't seen you here at the hospital or in a doctor's office. Hopefully you've stayed well this season. So thanks for tuning in, and as always, stay healthy.
Hey, thanks for tuning in today. We're thankfully in a little bit of a wintertime slowdown with our dog and cat impound, so not a whole lot of animals to show you, but we'll show you a few of the dogs and cats that are here in a minute. First, we want to let you know about some upcoming vaccine clinics. These are done by Pound Puppies and Kittens Rescue. It's done at the Paradox Spay Neuter Clinic in Walnut Grove at 1200 Industrial Parkway. That's just right down the street from Walnut Grove High School. On Saturday, February 20th and Saturday, March 12th, they're going to be doing vaccine clinics from 10 to 2. You don't need an appointment. You just show up during those times. Incredible prices. Rabies shots for dogs and cats, just $15. Distemper parvo, bordetella, cat vaccines, all these are just $15 each. So very affordable. You don't have to pay any kind of exam fee or other fees. You just pay that $15 for that shot, whatever else you need. They're also doing microchips for $25. That's a great bargain. You know, we pick up a lot of animals and you know, they don't ever have any identification, and the owner says, oh, I took the collar off for a bath, or the cat slips out of the collar. They can't slip out of a microchip, so it's a great way. We scan every animal that comes in. It's a great way to make sure that your pet is returned to you if it's brought into an animal control, or if maybe someone steals your dog or cat and they're found, there's no disputing that that's not your animal when you have a microchip in it. So they'll be doing all that at Paradox Spay Neuter Clinic, February 20th and March 12th. Great prices. You can see more on their website at ppnk.org. Now we're going to show you some of the dogs and cats here.
We have a 2-year-old female, short hair. She's very sweet. She does need to be spayed. She's looking for a good lap to sit in. So if anybody, you need a cat and they change all the time, please don't forget about us. Thank you.
This is Shalane. She's a Catahoula mix, about a year old. She's heartworm negative. She's already vaccinated, dewormed, and she's a really sweet dog. Just needs a good home.
She is a pit mix female. Her name's Zoe. Looking for a good home. I think she may be already spayed, but very friendly.
Here we have a male pit. He's about 3 years old, not neutered. Seems to be very friendly. I don't know how he is towards other animals, but he's a really sweet dog.
All right, we have a female. She's a black and white, short hair. She's about 9 months old. She needs to be spayed. Very sweet, very loving cat. So keep her in mind.
This year, you have a new spot, walkgeorgia.org. A free website that provides you with all the resources needed to get your heart rate up and body out in your community. Sign up and receive individual or group fitness tracking, fitness demos by certified trainers, recipes, and a guide to resources in your Georgia County. All in one easy-to-use site. When you move more, you live more. walkgeorgia.org.
To my body is dust, till my soul is no more. I will love you, love you. Till the sun starts to crave and the moon turns to
What's the worst that can happen?